Greetings, mortals. I am Natus, the ruler of the underworld. And today we'll be reacting to the newest chapter of Black Clover, chapter 360, titled The Unreadable World. Or the world that makes you question what exactly Lucius' future side told him, or showed him, or whatever. Because the revelation in this chapter is just, or Lucius' revelation is just like the. Okay, I really would like someone to explain to me how Lucius saw, or one of those times that I feel like Tabata, alright, no, Tabata, no SPS, no leaving the viewers to speculate, no, you tell us the next chapter or something in the future exactly how. If you need to use it in volume, what would this be, volume 36, I believe, or whatever. If you need to use an SPS, then you better give a detailed explanation SPS, because this needs explaining now. Who knows, maybe it was already explained, but I just simply haven't found the links or anything. I couldn't find anything, but I would really like to get this explained to me by anyone, like a Broku, Anime Balls Deep, whichever one of these guys is professional or anything. Just explain to me how Lucius's future side works here, because well, anyways, we'll get into it in the other chapter. Let's just go through it. I mean, again, it's like an action chapter, so we'll not have a bunch of stuff to comment on. Well, but no, me, I'll probably comment about a bunch of stuff. So, anyways, we start this chapter off with Noelle doing a little pouty face, which is supposed to be more her. I guess trying to master the uses of her her Leviathan new transformation thing, as she uses Sea Dragon's Roar as she sends this Dragon's Roar, basically. Again, but this one looks a bit more demonic, more monstrous. Basically what Leviathan would make it. Which I think is actually smaller than the one she used on Vonica when they were fighting. I don't know, it's been a while since I've checked that chapter, but I think this one's actually sizable, but still smaller than her. But unfortunately for her, Axel just kind of uses, I think, just kind of spins around really fast and goes through it, or not, or maybe not through it, more like just kind of spins around to like avoid it, kind of like on the side. Like the run's going there, and then she kind of like just spins around it. Since I don't think it looks, because I don't think it's supposed to be like going through it. And I'm pretty sure that's not supposed to be wind magic, although it might be. I don't know exactly. Again, it's kind of difficult to know for certain, but I think it's just her like using a momentum from the spin to like just dodge it so it doesn't hit. As in Axel Rex signing in a battle sense, which is kind of surprising. I mean, to be fair, it's not that surprising that she's a bit. That Axel here seems to be a bit more happy about a strong fight, but it's kind of like I don't think anyone has ever mentioned has treated Axel as someone who enjoys battle. Like she was called the dancing princess on the battlefield, but I think that was always, but that way it was always kind of interpreted more as she fought so elegantly in the battle that she was like a princess on it. Not like she enjoys it, but here it seems like she enjoys it based on this smile. And she then tells them also, "Here I come, Noelle!" As Noelle seriously determined, screaming, "Not if I get there first, mother!" So I guess despite her not viewing this as her mother, she will still refer to her as they're gonna come into clashes. Then we cut to see a little bit on the other side of the kingdom as we have Lucy. We cut to Yuno versus Lucius as Lucius punches Yuno as Yuno blocks with his sword. That sends him to a building, and then we get the two of them kind of quick moving, like just whooshing all over the place, to show the speed and the action of it all. As then Lucius thinks to himself, the agility he gains from his star magic and wind magic is letting him keep pace with my speed and predictions. So his future side, as he was smirk, and then we have Yuna immediately behind him. We see actually his clothes, I think, very done, although I think his shirt may have orban tone and also a bit more blood and damage. As he goes to cut him with his blade or his long sword. I don't know, the hilt of it looks a lot longer for some reason. As then we have Lucy just grabbing at, as Lucy's like, but as he throws into a building, since again, like Lucius, although he still don't, I think he uses it again, confirm that he's weaker physically than Lucifer. He still has a lot of physical boosts, like we saw with him catching it the first time. So here we have another time he just catches it as he just throws Yuno into the building and tells him it's over now. As then we have thinking to yourself, this attack will put you. Or actually, Lucius saying thinking to herself, this attack will put your soul under my control. So turning him into a paladin, which is something a lot of people have predicted. But unfortunately, we have to wait if that prediction is true a bit later. Sorry about that loud noise for some fucking reason. As we have him touching, trying to go outside, but it's blocked. It's you just spirit of Noto, spirit creation magic. So yeah, we have the fourth weapon. If you follow the theming, and I'm not gonna lie, it's kind of funny how this is how Noto showed up because like the other three had this like cool moments, like how the bow one was literally used to one shot Xenon in his yeah, I think it was one shot Xenon in his 100% form, despite it making absolutely no logical sense why it would be this strong from where we last saw and Xenon cuffing each other. But Noto's just like, block! Ha! You can't touch me! Like, just saying, I mean, I'm not saying it's a weak shield, it's just kind of funny. Like, the first time we see him used is blocking someone from just touching. But yeah. Anyways, we actually see Lucy actually reacting to that. It's like not the One Piece eye bulging moment, but like, huh? Because he's shocked at this. As then Lucius thinks of a shield of strong wind that rebuffs incoming attacks. When that's explaining to him, as he's like, we see a little close up, we see how damage he is. As in Lucius kind of backs off from that shield. Not sure why, but I guess maybe he just didn't want to risk it a bit more. As Lucius starting to look a bit like, wait, what's going on now? As he thinks, and Lucius wonders to himself, what is that spell? I guess this is the first time that he saw using this spell. As then we have cutting, going quickly for a cut. We see him cutting a bit of Lucius' shoulder. Finally, I guess Lucius was so shocked by it that he wasn't even aware that could happen. And then Lucius also he sped up. Again, apparently he increased speed. Like I don't think it's that big of an increase. I think it's more that he was also befuddled that an increase in speed would be more not enough shocking him. As then we have, I'm thinking saying to himself, I won't last long. I'll end this fast. So basically, yeah, he's on his final legs, like what I believe Lucius mentioned earlier that he will not last long, or maybe it was more to Melion that spell will not last long. So yeah, I think that's what's going on here. So we get some confirmation that they are styming. And now we get to the headache portion of the chapter, as we have Lucius get time to get a bit serious, as Lucius starts to speak with, this can't be right. The who grew up in the Clover Kingdom shouldn't have this kind of power, even if he's burning life to get it. Referring to what Gotcha did, which I don't feel like should be what you should be reminding people of, but yeah. It's remember, then we have, go back to Slasham, and then we have Lucius explain to us that in my prediction, the world in which, was strongest was the one where he steadily acquired power in the Spade Kingdom, which never had a rebellion. Even that needed several years to master star magic. So I guess that's the reason why the Dark Triad had to take over the place. Kind of makes me feel like they should have probably killed him anyways, and I don't see why he just living in the Clover Kingdom would be initially weaker, or why would it be stronger? Maybe the takeover was more slower pace. I have no idea. I honestly have no idea how exactly that unit would even be stronger. Why Spade unit would even be stronger than the current unit, anyways. I mean, sorry, there's not many good people that you can use as a testing dummies. And that also makes me wonder what the hell the Dark Triad were doing in that timeline. Were they going to be like the main protagonist squad for that timeline or not? Again, not certain. As they have as then we have. I'm thinking it's Lucius blocking slices. As Lucius also says, however, this has reached that level in a bit over a year. No, he's even stronger. I don't like this. I prefer the unofficial translations where it was like he may even be stronger because like no, it's literally just feels like every second is getting even stronger. Like this, I mean, I could understand if was on the level if his strongest version, where because that one Lucius already acknowledged, but this one just kind of feels like, oh, let's make the character sound even more badass by making them even stronger than they were supposed to be. As then we have Lucius saying, that goes for the others as well. There was no future in which Noelle, the youngest Seawalk, even grew this strong. As we see her clashing with her mother. Then we have him saying, even the dangerous Meliona should have been killed instantly by Morris. I don't think that's a Meliona thing. I think that just says so much more sucks. Then we have him saying, Fugolia should have been dead. He wasn't even here. So basically, the reason why Fugolia doesn't contribute to anything is because he shouldn't even be alive in the first place. Makes sense, I suppose. As then we have him also saying, the Magic Knight should have been wiped out by now. And we see a bunch of purple orca, so the purple orca is so weak, pathetic that it doesn't even show up here, which is so fucking hilarious. Like random purple orcas from the Magic Knight tournament, the Magic Knight tournament, are more important than their fucking captain. And yeah, I'll wait until the end chapter, please. It's just where it's man. Gotta comment about this, go into details. As then Lucius also thinks to herself, why? What changed? As then we see like a bunch of like buildings getting turned to rubble from the slash. As then we have Lucius thinking to herself, what's different between my prediction and the reality? Trust me, the extension is gonna be even dumber. As then we have getting even closer to Lucius now as we see his close up of Yuno's eye to show the determination. And then we have Lucius not panicking, but he's like, okay, I'm just gonna try to kill you, which again just goes for a punch. Which, alright, does Lucius not have other things he can do? Alright, so I think Neverland spell conjures out time magic, fine, but why doesn't he try to do anything else with gravity or any other like? I mean, to be fair, it's kind of difficult to say specifically if he has other forms of magic. Like it, I mean, I think it was kind of like he was going to get everything under control, but that doesn't mean he's gonna be using anything. But does he really not have any other usages? I mean, even Dante fucking used body magic to buff himself up and regenerate accordingly and monsterify himself. So why doesn't Lucius do anything? Especially if he has other abilities. Like as OP as Soul Magic apparently seems to be, he doesn't seem to have that many abilities regarding it. Except maybe changing forms or something. As they have uses for himself, this he was always the one who strike the last blow. Actually, no, I think that might be Asta. He was always the one to strike the last blow. He did it when we fought Lord Lucifero too. So yeah, we see Asta slicing through people, like we see Zagred. We see I don't know who that. I think that's supposed to be Ryochi. We see Lucifero. As I have things of it was so frustrating that's why I keep conquering the me who wasn't good enough. As this says, this world, its future, I can't be this. Its future can't be read. This is the world Asta influenced. As we have we have a close up of Lucius's eyes, as then we see a cool parallel shot between Asta and Yuno as both of them are bloody. I think that's maybe supposed to be the flashback to when before Asta was teleported to Land of the Sun, which, yep, this is the reason why if it's happening this weirdly, the fact that Asta's there, which again we'll get into it. As then we get the final page of this chapter, as we get like Lucius getting a bit more worried, like, oh no. No, as then we have Fiona screaming, no matter who I'm up against, I'll take them down! As he goes for a slice, as he cuts Sir Lucius, which I feel like may have been, which, I thought it was going to be kind of a referencing one of the Asta shots, but cuts, but I don't think it doesn't seem to be a different. Like, maybe I think it's kind of paralleling the cut that Asta did against Zagreb, but this is a completely different cut. As we get this, and they get a strike. No, I don't think this is gonna do anything that significant to Lucius, but it is supposed to like give me some real damage, and not like small blood that came out early in the chapter from his shoulder. Like this is supposed to be a bigger. Cue transformation. Cue the backup. Cue the guys who are hopefully gonna do something. I don't really know that font. We're getting predictions at the end. later, but let's actually talk about this whole revelation. Now, a lot of people were saying, well, all YouTubers are screaming how Asta is the GOAT, which is true, and all that. Let's actually talk about how. Okay, I'll start off this discussion with what my assumption was when it came to. Sorry about that again. When it came to what I thought Lucius's magic was doing, or Lucius' future sight. I assumed that Lucius' future sight and Asta not being included was more of like he saw everything happening, but there were certain aspects of it that did not have an explanation if you don't think of, oh, Asta's there, that's why something happens. For example, the battle between Mars and Yuno and everyone, he saw Mars losing, but then why his flame recovery magic disappeared was not known because Asta wasn't seen. That's what I kind of assumed was the case. Like he was kind of like he's the one person you can't see. Think of uh, Infinite Crisis, where Mr. Terrific's ability made him unseeable by the cameras of the eye type of deal. So he could move around everywhere, but the robots would not know that he's there. They could see Black Lightning, but not Mr. Terrific. That's what I kind of got, and he was kind of changed. And I've also thought that Lucius would use his time magic in a sense of there are multiple outcomes, multiple futures, but he'll change it enough so they'll be the ones he'll influence it in a sense that he could, get what he needs. So for example, Magna versus Dante, 8 out of 10 futures, Dante will just kill Magna at the spot because how dare that someone so low thinks he can go up against me? That's my greater. While there are some futures where Hunter would be like, "Oh, just hit me. You can't do jack. Your pathetic magic, your common magic, your mana is so low. Just hit me." Since you guys that don't make sense. That's what I thought. But going off of this, it seems like his futures. No, they were literal timelines that had no at all. Like Asta literally did not exist. Like there was no Asta in them. No, like he was not like there are even moments where there clearly has to be someone there to do stuff. No, it was literally nothing. And in that sense, I do not understand how did things play out. Because remember, Asta is like this one part with the MCs not even being this universe, like how much things would change. And this is the thing. Because let's think about this. If we go back to the story and think about every time Asta saved someone or in the situation where everyone was, the characters really should not even be here. Like Lucius complaining about what the Fugolium being still here was Magic Knights still should have been wiping out now. It's like the least of things. Like logically thinking, everyone here except maybe Merliona should have died like a while back. Because alright, think about this logically. I mean, let's go back to the story. So there is no Yuno. So if there's no Asta, then that means Yuno would get his grandma stolen and most likely beaten by Ryuchi. Because again, it was Asta who was the one who could do something against Ryuchi. Now you could make a claim that he could, get his grandma back, just tracking Ryuchi down, but that's besides it. But that one's not a big one. But then we have stuff like Noelle almost drowning herself when she's training her water magic. Unless if someone shows up, which I don't see, which would have to be a big which would require a change, and even I don't know who could have stopped her at that point. Like I'm just saying, unless if it's Yami dragging her out, Noelle would have drowned there. She would be already done. So that's already Noelle out. So unless if someone shows up and interferes. Then we have the village that with Magna in that I guess the first part arc with teeth and all that shit. With no Asta, there's no way Magna could have beaten all of them. Honestly, depending on how you look at it, he could have even been more drained at that point than he actually already was. So we already have to eliminate Magna from the board. That's already. Not to mention the magic stone they got would probably not even be gotten by them at that point. So that's one change. Then we get to the magic dungeon arc. Klaus and also just died. Like they couldn't do jack towards him. The only reason why Yuno was able to beat Mars was because of the power up he got and Mars's magic robe being dispersed. I mean, it could be the bear, but still, he needed Silk for it, meaning that a battle between the three of them and Mars, with the added bonus of the other Diamond Janos, or Diamond soldiers, probably interfering so they'll get a big advantage, would just make things worse for them. Meaning that Ark should really have had those three either killed, captured, or have to run away with a tail. All those three would require them not being in the that magic, the capital invasion thing with zombies. Which means which most likely means that Fugolion and Leopold would both been killed. Well, literally killed by Leopold, so not just disappearedly killed before the whole things. And then we have, which is to get the magic stone and possibly have even more at that point. Meaning that Yuno's magic stone and, well, Yuno's magic stone could have been taken from them by the Diamond Kingdom. And then we have the whole Winter Village thing would probably have played out with the Sunspot going along smoothly with no interference, which would then prompt the Water Temple arc, depending on how you see it, may not even have the Black Bulls in that sense. So though, again, unless if it's Black Bulls, I don't see them surviving. And even if we do, I do feel like a couple of the Black Bulls would die by Bato's hand before Yami shows up, unless if Yami immediately like no shit because of Magna dying, which I could see it, but still I can't question it. Or depending if Noel dies, it might actually be that they'll be, kicked out, or Yami would be banished or something. And that just continues on. Like the more and more you think, and then we have the whole Magic Inject tournament, which would immediately have to disqualify, which would mean that all the Black Bulls could appear and show up did stuff would be not allowed. And yeah, the Witches Forest arc wouldn't happen. Honestly, we enough the Iron Man would probably have to attack the Diamond. We have to go into war with Diamond Kingdom after the Witches Forest, because I think like, all of the magic stones at that point would have probably went to them. So yeah, we have to deal with that. And near that, I feel like, because again, I kind of feel like Mars and brainwashed Mars at that arc, and Logis would have been able to defeat Fauna, and which, I mean, again, it's kind of difficult to scale, but I feel like they could have handled it. From what we've seen, like they had to be extremely exhausted and drained when the Witch Queen showed up, so at least there's an implication that that would have to happen. So yeah, the whole thing required. Like this, luckily there's not like direct ways that they could have killed, but like yeah, I feel like that would just be taken out, and then yeah, they would be out, killed. The rest are a bit more hard for me to think of right now how things would have played out. But most of them would probably have been killed. Honestly, the Doctor would probably have. I mean, honestly, Yami and Willem would probably have to have been captured beforehand, depending on how things turn out, especially since there would be no way to bring William back from pottery situation without that, unless if Lucius, again, starts taking action faster, which in that point, I feel like he might as well contact his siblings and have them show up and, finish everything off. Which would be pretty easy, since if you remember how powerful base forms the Dark Triad are compared to the Elf are characters. So yeah, I really don't see why this would even happen. Like, why? Where would this even show up? Speaking of, how exactly would they be able to defeat people like Lucifero? Like, how was he expecting to cut the heart out without Asta? I mean, like, no one could do shit. Everyone was so one-sided. Again, maybe Fugolian still survived and no one gave his life to beat Lucifero's 50% form, but I don't know. It's kind of difficult to say. He didn't make no comments about Fugora being weaker in this timeline, so I'm going to assume that's not the case. So, like, what is the timeline? How does it happen that way that this could still be the outcome if we completely exclude Asta? I mean, can someone please explain it to me? Because I don't see how this is the outcome. The outcome I see, the only that's logical, is Lucius exposed himself way quicker, because he contacts his siblings to start taking action now, meaning they, depending if Pachi joins in the attack on the Diamond Kingdom to capture capture Yami now, on save William from Patry just to do something that ritual. I guess convincing every day that when the demons show up to turn them to side with them or to get contracts or create an army against her. But of course, I don't know what today is up with the underworld today. Uh, Side with them and make them more powerful. So when Lucifer inevitably emerges, it'll be like the entire demon, the entire underworld, entire Spade army, and whoever joins from the Dominic, I feel like they would probably join without any issue, especially like Morris, going up against Lucifero in a plot to beat him and take his hearts out. Lucius to take his hearts out. Maybe at that point there will also be plans to have the Dark Triad fall because he had them in those like near that states or whatever those they were. But like I don't see how everyone else would remain. Like half these characters would be dead by now. Like maybe that's the future he saw, but if that's the case, I feel like he should have noticed that these changes way sooner than just now. Because again, just saying, these changes seem relatively insignificant compared to the pretty much ruling the world as it is without just kind of waiting for Lucifer to show up. Like, how does this happen? Like, I don't see the logic. I mean, they had to take action faster. The Cloaker would have to take action faster if they would still even be in condition to take action or even aware of it. And they would be so much underpowered to the dark disciples that they would not even be able to hold a candle. And meaning, like, fine enough, the Spirit Gods will actually be one of the stronger ones, and we saw how Spirit Gods went up against 50% Dark Disciples, and we're talking about 50 that time period, Spirit Guardians versus 50% Dark Disciples with, I don't know what kind of magic. Like, they were losing to fucking skin, nails, hair, and eyes. Do you really think they'll be able to beat 50% Dark Disciples at that before the training with the elves? With literally anything else. So yeah, I don't see why is he realizing this now if the changes should already be major to a point this scenario wouldn't even be able to be happening. Like how can someone explain to me what timelines was Lucius watching that got him to just now realize there was so much different? Like again, I mean, say what you want about looking goofy, the fact that there was like one person, stuff happens, or from a completely unknown stuff, like someone just like Lucifer just randomly gets cut down, people randomly talking and saying how funny that sounds, but at least that makes more sense as watching it in timelines than what I feel like are really forced ways how characters could end up in this route the same way as they are doing now. Granted, weaker, but still, how are they able to hold this candle? But yeah, anyways, like this is like a real mindfuck. I won't even say it's bad writing. It's just I really would like to get an explanation to what timelines, what exactly Lucius has been watching. Like that's what I just like to know. Like what was he watching? How did this all end up? Like seriously, Broku, Animals Deep, one of those guys, explain to me what the heck. How the hell did the timeline play out the way that this is the only now made Lucius realize, hold on, these things do not make sense. Are way too different to the time I was watching. Because again, like, why is he just now realizing that? But yeah, anyways, this chapter, aside from the mind screw, beside the questionable future side of Lucius, or the weird future side from Lucius, this is a pretty standard, show the hero still going up against it, but not being completely disrespectful, still showing that there's some advantage that the villains have, and most likely a big chapter where Lucius Fire starts to get like, oh shit, time to take it more seriously, and get a bit more worried as he I'm assuming there's gonna be a big comeback after this chapter. Similar, hopefully a bit better one, the one that was with the Spade Kingdom. But yeah, we'll just have to wait and see next in the next chapter. But anyways, I hope you like this chapter reaction. Don't forget to leave a like, subscribe to the channel for more videos in the future. And that's it. I can't wait to see all of you mortals next time. Goodbye.